Hello and welcome to another episode of Mixed Bag. Meg Atkins here with Mr. Matthew Galloway. Matthew, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
We got a good guest. We got another former employer.
Another former boss. Yeah.
Angel Yin's going to be joining us here in a little bit. We're going to talk about the limited action from the women's side of golf this past weekend. But did you have a good one? You enjoy? I'm assuming you were locked into Cypress Point, as we all were.
Yeah, Golf Sickos Unite. Watched some Cypress Point this weekend. Walker Cup looked awesome. I think it ceases to not remind everybody that next year there will be a Curtis Cup at the one and only Bel Air Country Club, another great venue, good team match between the ladies of Great Britain and Ireland and the ladies of the U.S., kind of similar vein of the Walker Cup. So if you enjoyed that, kind of put that in your calendar mid-June next year. It'll be kind of a fun watch. It's kind of the same, similar situation. I know Andy was just gushing on the kind of going to events like this and seeing players up close and personal. Yeah. It would be a good experience to go see that in person as well. I think hopefully my schedule will work out, so maybe I can sneak out there.
I know. That'd be sweet. The Curtis Cup last year at Sunningdale was one of the best things I watched in the whole year of golf. They're doing a lot of things right with these amateur team events from the courses they go to, and yeah, it's super cool to see. One, the courses, and then two, like these are names you're going to be seeing for a very, very long time. And once they all turn pro, and it's kind of the introduction for a lot of fans to these players, and it's really a special introduction when it's out of place like Cypress Point or some of the other courses these are going to. So, yeah, that was the highlight of my weekend. There was a lot of sports this weekend. Many of them did not go my way.
Sorry the KC.
Listen, no one's gonna feel sorry for the Chiefs fans, but I want YouTube to never get anywhere near another NFL broadcast again. I worked very hard to keep Mr. Beast off my screens in this house, and then we turn on the Chiefs game and his dumb face is right there, and my kids are like, "Oh, Mr. Beast!" I'm like, "Oh my god."
You're fighting that stuff. I don't have kids old to know what that is, unless it's like K-pop Demon Warriors or something.
Yes,
whatever that too. Yeah, I have to keep my daughter away from that movie.
It's
Demon Hunters. Sorry,
the tunes are very catchy though.
Yeah.
I will give you that.
She keeps on running around singing this takedown song.
Then KU lost to Mizzou, which is just the worst. But then I was perfectly fine flipping on Cypress Point. It was like healed all wounds immediately. So that was really fun. That was a really fun event.
It was a good watch. Yeah, they have that drone, that walk from the road to 15 T is they did a good job with that drone. Just kind of got out of the way and to finally shut up and just let the views do the talking. Sorry, I had to throw a pot shot in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good watch. I mean, remind me, does the Curtis Cup have the same format as the Walker Cup? Do they do the same thing with singles? I can't remember.
No, you know what? I think they have 4 balls mixed in.
Okay. Because that's obviously kind of the issue with Walker Cup. It seems like they had the singles deal. There's a lot of singles matches in the U.S. Obviously, took them to the woodshed.
Yeah, they did. There is foursomes and 4 balls. So they do play it a little differently. So
that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to speak out of turn, but
Yep.
I mean, that's where you watched the thing last year. You saw Mimi Rhodes and you saw some of these other great GB&I players.
Asterisk, Lottie,
yeah, flash into LET stuff, and Mimi Rhodes is popping off this year. So it's kind of you get a good look at some of these ladies that are coming out of nowhere, seemingly.
Yes, it's fun. We did have a little bit of women's golf down in steamy Houston.
The great golf city of Houston.
Yeah. I love Houston in the fall, don't you?
Yeah.
The Aramco Houston Championship was won by Nuria Itaraz. I think I got close on that.
I'm not even touching it.
Yeah. She holds off Charlie Hull and Carlota Segunda by 2. That's her first win in 2 years for the Spaniard.
Yeah.
Kind of a big push there at the end, 3 birdies in her final 5 holes to kind of surge ahead from a little bit of a crowded leaderboard. My big takeaway, I mean, obviously congrats to Nuria, but Charlie Hull seemed healthy.
Yeah, she's back.
No issues. Yeah, just avoid curbs and parking lots and try not to injure yourself closing the trunk of your car or the boot of your car, I guess, if you're her.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that bodes well for the rest of the season. She's on the international crown team, as we've mentioned. But good to see her back and healthy after what seemed like kind of a freak weird accident with her ankle.
It's kind of crazy that happened to Charlie of all people. I
I
mean,
know.
I mean, Nuria, that's a good pickup win. I mean, you pop off a little $194,000 for an LT player. That's a lot of cash.
Timed it right.
We messed up, Meg. We said this wasn't going to be on TV. The LET website did us no favors.
I'm trying.
It was on Golf Channel at points.
I'm trying. I looked on LET website. I didn't see anything. So maybe it was like a late ad. I don't know. The LET website is not the greatest.
Well, I will say it's better. I can actually pull up these scorecards that these players have within like seconds, other than waiting for like, the great depth of the internet to pull them up on the LPGA website. That's my only memo to Craig Kessler is, can you fix the stupid scorecards on the website?
I agree. I don't know. Listen, like I said, there were a lot of sports going on. I'm glad it had a little window on Golf Channel, especially with some of the bigger names. Charlie, Carlota, Celine Boutier was in there. Mimi played well. She was up there too. And then my other big takeaway from this event was Allison Lee back.
Yeah.
And made the cut. First made cut as a
awesome.
mom.
Good for her. I mean, I know I now having gone through, having two kids and knowing what the details of what goes in through all that, and like kind of taking care of kids and being able to practice and recovering bodies and all that. Like it's kind of amazing that these athletes get it back together and play golf the way they do.
And getting it back together in about 4-ish months or so.
Yeah, because that's those first couple of months. You just like, I feel like those first 3 months of any kid, you're just like, you don't know what day it is.
Oh yeah. I remember like 12-week maternity leave, going back to work with, I don't even remember which one of them. Like, I feel like I've like just started forming coherent sentences like last week.
Yeah. And imagine if like you had a C-section or something. I don't know how her birth went, but like a C-section, that's like legit like surgery.
Big time recovery. Yes, it is. Yeah. So Allison wins my like badass of the week.
Yeah. And she's playing this week, I think. And
I think she is. Yeah.
In Cincinnati.
Yep.
It's and like we talked about it before last week, I think. It's just cool that the LPGA lets them kind of slide into the, like, they don't push you into like, you got to earn your stuff in like 5 weeks, like maternity comeback. They kind of let you guide into it. It's a very clearly there's some women involved in the thinking process to all this, and they kind of know how to help guide. It's not some man making a decision for you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think she's smart to kind of test it out like this. Obviously, she's feeling well, and the play is there, kicking off a lot of rust, I'm sure, but making the cut, like that's, not a totally stacked field. There's some names I never heard of as I was scrolling through the leaderboard this weekend, but a made cut has to feel good. A nice way to ease in with the 54-hole event makes sense when you look at it from all different angles there.
Hey, you know who else made a cut this week was Danielle Kang.
Yeah, she did.
She made a cut.
She made a post about how much she loves the PIF series too. I was like,
yeah, she probably, well, if you look at her sleeve, she has a nice big old fat Golf Saudi logo. So no wonder she loves it.
But I think there might be a little bit of light coming in. Like,
it's a dark tunnel.
Like, I don't know. I'm sure she's probably taking momentum and positives wherever she can. And so, you're going to try and take away the made cut as a win this week for her. I don't know. Like, listen, we can talk. We're kind of, I think that's all I really have for Aramco. But along those lines with Danielle Kang, there's only 4 full field events left on the calendar. So we have a couple here coming up. We're going to talk about Kroger in Ohio this week, and then Walmart and Lotte out in Hawaii. Then we go to Asia. You come back after Asia, which are all limited field events, and you just have the Annika at Pelican, and that's it. So the full field events and the opportunities to make a move. I mean, listen, Danielle's got to make a very big move, but for other players,
she'll probably get some sponsor invites, maybe.
Yes,
I'm
guessing she'll be over in Asia with a sponsor's invite for something.
As I don't know, as many know those, unless if you're a sponsor invite to Asia, that's not those points don't count.
That's true.
It's like unless you win.
That's true. Good point. So for those kind of on the cusp of, listen, there's a lot of different cusps right now. There's
Yeah.
top 60 for CME. Most of these Asian events are 70, 80, top 80 or
Hmm.
so, give or take. And then top 100 is something to watch too, just for locking up cards for next year. So Grant Boone always has some good breakdowns at the end of each
That
week.
was a good
And
post.
yeah, he had a good post, I think, on Twitter and Instagram about some of the storylines and who's jumping. Um, I mean, it's tough for these rookies, even though we've had a bunch of rookie winners. Um, you gotta do something in these next couple of weeks if you're going to be
Yeah,
in
this is your
Asia.
time. You're
Yeah.
definitely going to get these events. At least it's not. I would say it's not as cutthroat as now the men's side is. I feel like those guys coming off of um, KFT have like no chance. I think only
Mm-hmm.
like one guy retained a full status card. I think I got to look at it, but
Pretty crazy.
like we have a good friend down in Tampa, Jackson Suber, and like he's kind of like it was an uphill battle for him, and he even had some good finishes and like couldn't stay in the top 100. So, but it's
Yeah.
different for the ladies. They have a lot of opportunities to play, and I think you look at most events, that whole Q school, Q series category gets in most events, but
Yes.
it's this fall season, this kind of like early fall season, it's kind of like a push for them to get in Asia because it's free money. We call it free
Free
money because
money.
it's like there's no cut, free money events. I mean, you got some big purses, so it's like, and you're getting flown over there for free. Your travel's
Mm-hmm.
free. I mean, you're not
Mm-hmm.
spending a lot of money, so it's actually like Asia's the best. That whole stretch at Asia is always fun. I miss that part of the schedule.
Yeah, yeah. It's, I mean, tough from our side of things here stateside to kind of tune in and follow and be locked in when it's the middle of the night. But I'm sure just a refreshing, well, maybe not refreshing is not a good word because it is the end of the season and some of these players are tired, but just a change of pace, change of scenery, a little bit of less pressure with no cut, and you're gonna
Yeah.
make some money. So I get why that's appealing for some at the end of a difficult summer stretch to kind of have some guarantees. But I also understand the other side of why some players don't go over there wanting some rest and everything after summer. So
Well, it seems like, I mean, our next little news subject, I mean, Beth Ann wrote a nice piece about what happened at the player meeting with Craig, and it seems like there might be an opportunity for some more Asian events based on there's some openings over there on the schedule, it seems like. So it
yes,
could be interesting to
yes.
see what Craig's cooking up or I wouldn't say Daytona in his office in Dallas, but
Yeah, not really sitting. I mean, I'm sure he's been in Daytona, but yes, the everything's coming from Dallas right now for him. Yes, a good kind of covered a lot of different topics from Beth Ann. A couple things that we had talked about on the podcast too from the players meeting. More just very good praise from the likes of Nelly Corda, Angel Yin, who we're going to talk to, kind of said, even if you're going to tell us no on something, it's better tell us no than say yes but not do it or be unclear. So it seems like the clearness and the communication is top marks from everybody that we've heard from, which is great. I don't know if we want to do a giant round of applause for that. I think it speaks more to maybe how poor the communication was in prior years. But I good to hear, right?
yeah.
What else did you take away from that? I mean, the schedule stuff, kind of what we had said, it's going to be tricky.
Yeah, you
And
can't unwind it all at one time, and it's going to take some time and contracts.
yes,
And don't you know how contracts work, Meg?
I know. Honestly, I
Uh,
don't. But I mean, I wish they were
yeah,
a little bit more flexible. But I guess that's why it's a
yeah,
contract. Um, so I think one thing that I took from it was he's looking at other leagues and around their creativity with some of the broadcast TV stuff, which I like. If he's not talking to Jess Berman of the NWSL, talking to WNBA stakeholders and people over at that office, that's got to be who you speak to in women's sports world and some of the creative things that they've done to improve the visibility of their products. Now, it this gets into just how tricky golf is because he talks about the predictability too and how tricky that is to when you get bumped around with other Champions Tour bumping you or whatever the case may be. So,
Yeah.
difficult job, right? Difficult job.
I mean, you're trying to find a time slot. I read out the TV schedules every single week, and it's like, Lord knows where they're going to get slotted in. Is it like a midday lunch thing, or do they get shown in at the right time of the day? Like, are they in the evening? It's kind of like they get jammed in, or they get jammed in. So it's a hard deal.
It
I
is.
think.
Yes, it is. One thing I thought was interesting too, he talked about, the visibility of these athletes and getting their personalities out there. He talked about a little bit about like there's some third party content creators out there who have raised their hand and said like we can help. Let us help you tell their stories. I don't know if like a Creator Classic has come into the LPGA
God,
or anything like that.
I
but
swear to God, Meg, if Paige Spiranac shows up anywhere near LPGA event again, I'm going to scream at somebody. I'm sorry. That's like my one bent. Like, just let's don't go down that road again.
I get why, but like my pessimistic, strength of game mind had some red flags on the
You
whole.
didn't watch the King of the Mountain with all the good King of the Mountain that was on TV last week?
No, I didn't watch
No.
that. But like I also think, I'm probably not I am on the diehard side of things, right? I'm probably not who these efforts are for, right? I'm probably not the fan, like I'm already brought in, right? So like what they're going to be doing, it's probably not going to be for me in a lot of instances in terms of, maybe the creator stuff or whatever they may do. But I think you have to appease your diehard fans with the visibility and with a better schedule and that type of thing too. So it's that balance. It's that balance. And I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit of a broken record, but like it's a tough job. It's a tough job.
Well, yeah, you got to create this organic. It's hard, like marketing and organic and creating. So it's funny because a good friend of mine here in Tampa, he's like a marketing director at a big company, and we talk about all this stuff because he's in golf. He used to work for the PGA, and we had these conversations about like trying to make these things visible and how hard and expensive the products are, and putting stuff on TV and making these broadcasts. And I don't know. There's got to be a different way of presenting a different broadcast in a way. Like Thursday and Friday, like we don't need to see the same thing.
Yes,
like
agreed.
I want to see golf shots, but they don't. Kind of like there's no like. I think even DJ Pie on Knowing Up talked about how like the Thursday broadcast is kind of just meaningless.
It's the diehards who are turning in on Thursday and Friday, so that's your opportunity to like, try something different. It's not like it's a gigantic audience anyways, especially for the LPGA side of things. Like that's where you take some risks and try some things out. I think there's a lot on the plate. I'm glad to see like schedule is critical.
We gotta get Craig on to chop it up with us and see.
I know we do. I know we got to figure out like when's the best time. I don't know.
Poor guy's ears will be burning by the end of that, but
right. No, we will. We're efforting there and we'll make it happen for sure. To your point though, just a little bit more like the schedule specifics. A new Asian event is listed in the fall swing that we were just talking about in 3 prospect tournament placeholders on the calendar. 2 of those in the first half of the year. So Founders, if you remember, was like late January. We know that's moving to March. Now. Yeah. So that's like one of those prospects is filling in that slot. And then another one is West Coast in April, which is where, as we talked about, Shadow Creek was, and Shadow Creek is not happening.
Well, it seems like T-Mobile, from reading that, T-Mobile still wants to be involved in some respect. So maybe they'll be a title sponsor for some other event that they want to cook up. But it sounds like MGM said, "See you later."
Indeed, they did. And then also the notes on the majors. So what we talked about, Women's PGA in late June, week off. Then you go to Evian. So then after that, you'll have another week off from Evian, Scottish Open, and then that goes right into the British Open. So do your math, 3 majors in 6 weeks. Not ideal.
Yeah. I don't know how you fix it, because it's like you got to keep Evian sometime in the summer and you kind of like, if you look at from a logistical standpoint, you got to have Evian and the women's open like
Close to each
close-ish
other.
together, because like
Mhm.
going over there twice, going to Europe twice, especially with the players are having to foot the dime, it's a hard ask, I think. So it's kind
Mhm.
of like you kind of have to like go have this like middle European swing. Maybe there's a way to have a add a European based event that has like a LET co-sanctioned thing there. I don't know. This is me
Yeah.
just coming up with stuff on the fly, but
Yeah.
um,
But I mean, there's an obvious understanding that it is not okay, the status quo. There's efforts already to do what you can in, the couple months. Like, listen, he came on in July. I know he was working before then, but like the schedule for the most part is already put together, right?
yeah.
And so, like as we've talked about, we're not going to be giving our Craig Kessler grades when the 2026 calendar comes out. And listen, I like getting Fortinet and bringing them on and getting a Northern California spot was a big win. If he gets a few more wins like that, maybe things start to take shape. But I think we're looking at 2027 before I think hopefully it's a coherent, rational schedule. So
Who knows? It'd be cool to like. I've kind of been ingrained on what the LPGA system schedule ecosystem is, just having lived it for a while, and kind of like, oh, it's just kind of the way it's always been. Like, and some people point out like it's a crazy schedule. I'm like, oh, it's kind of the way it's always been. So I'm kind of been used to it. But maybe there
mhm.
does need to be this like rejiggering of the whole thing. But I don't know. We'll see what. I think there's a lot of smart people in the room. Hopefully, Craig's hiring the right folks, and I think they're going to cook up something. So I have
Yeah.
faith. There's faith.
I do too. There's and the positivity from the players I think is huge, because they have to be on
Buy-in.
board,
Yeah.
especially if Craig's going to be asking for more time commitments for whatever visibility, marketing stuff for the players. You're going to get a lot more yeses when you're doing the right things in other areas from them. So um, yeah, I mean, good. A lot of info in there from Beth Ann and stuff. So all good stuff from Craig. So
Yep.
we'll keep watching that space. Okay, I think that's enough from the week that was. Let's talk about what's coming up. Matthew, we have the Kroger Queen City Championship presented by P&G. That's the mouthful of the week.
Yeah. Procter and Gamble month here on the LPGA in September. They are presenting the next two events on the LPGA. Fun fact. Yeah, Kroger City, Queen City Championship. We are at TPC Rivers Bend. It's another continuation of the TPC tour for the ladies in Hamilton Township outside of Cincinnati. Another, run of the mill TPC golf course. Arnold Palmer did it, 2001, 6,800 yards. Although this one wasn't touched up by Gil Hanse, it's
Yeah.
not as a couple of meandering creeks. It kind of it would if it were a men's event, it would fit into the TPC Sod Farm connotation, I think. But hey, unfortunately, this is actually a good site for the women. Get a little bit of a good golf course rather. Although they used to play it at I forget the name of the club they played it at in town, but I think they went a renovation, and it's like Kenwood Country Club or something they used to play it at.
Yeah, I this is one that I struggle to like recall specific
Yeah.
holes and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like it that doesn't pop, and it's not a ton that's memorable. But
Or recall that Lydia Ko even won this thing last year.
that was I don't know if I was like maybe this is when I was out of town. I don't know, but like I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Lydia won. Like even that was hard to recall. So I don't know. Maybe that's
So
on
yeah,
me, but
$2 million purse, nothing special there. Kind of like it's basically $2 million is your run of the mill LPGA purse now. TV kind of your typical 3-4 hour window. We got Thursday, 1 to 4, and then on Golf Channel Eastern Time PM, and then Friday to kind of go to 4 to 7. I don't know why that gets bumped to 4 to 7. Maybe some Champions Tour baloney. Who knows? That's 4 to 7 Eastern on Golf Channel. Then Saturday, Sunday, it's back to 1 to 4 Eastern on Golf Channel. So you're probably your same crew, the Grant Boones, the Morgan Pressel, that whole crew will be out there, it sounds like.
yeah.
Mike already mentioned defending champion Lydia Ko, 23 under she shot last year. So scores are low. I mean, they have it set at 6,800 yards, but I don't really know how long they're really going to play it. But it's actually good field. Nelly,
Field's
Lydia,
great. Yeah.
Gino, Lottie, EY's, half of Japan as usual.
Uh-huh.
Charlie Hull's back, coming off of
Yeah.
her second or third place finish last week in Houston off the PIF event. So maybe she's trying to see how her foot and leg is feeling. So good little field.
Yeah, and kind of what we talked about with only a handful of full field events left. This is kind of when it can get spotty with fields because you have some people who are maybe ranked higher that are going to play over in Asia and might be like taking a little bit of a break now. You have others that need to play all these that are in, but it works out kind of nicely with having the break this past week with Walker Cup and everything that you didn't really have. Nelly has had a little break now. Lydia's had a little break now. Gino's had a little break, and they're all back this week.
Yeah.
So works out.
Yeah, good little timing. And they'll probably, I feel like next week I'll have a good field as well in Arkansas. We'll talk about that next week. But
Yep.
good little event. I don't remember much about it. That's the thing. I don't know. Last year I probably wasn't super in tune as we are this year now with our show. But like I just don't remember the event last year. Sorry,
Yeah, it's the time of year a little bit too, but like it's also the venues. So I don't know schedule. You're gonna have weeks like this. PGA Tour has weeks like this where it's either kind of a slowish time. I mean, everyone's on to football at this point. A lot of people are fully off of golf and on to football, and combine that with maybe not so great venue, and there you have it. But
I don't know.
Lydia defending, that'll be fun.
If you were Brendan and Andy and PJ, it's like their fandom in the NFL. Would you rather watch your team lose or go watch the LPGA?
Well, the Chiefs play the Eagles, so I'd rather go watch
shot
the
at those guys.
Chiefs have it tough against the Eagles, so I gotta go. I'm going up to Hamilton Township, I guess. But yeah, that's the action coming up this week. Let's get to Angel. Super pumped to have Angel on. Let's talk first about our partner this week, Club Champion. Let's talk Club Champion. Listen, Club Champion has more than 140 stores worldwide in 5 countries on 3 continents. We're excited to have them on because they have the most highly trained fitters in the world. So that many stores, their fitters are highly trained. They have an in-house university that trains everybody. They have continued education from manufacturers to stay up to date. That's got to be a lot of training because all these manufacturers are cranking out stuff left and right.
Oh, yeah.
So you need somebody who's up to date because I know I'm not. Matthew, you're in the weeds on equipment more than I am. I know you're not up to speed on everything. You need somebody who's an expert and is keeping track of all the changes, and Club Champion has that. Every store has over 65 brands, which equates to just nearly 70,000 different head and shaft combinations. So again, this is when you like toss up your hands and you got to hand it over to somebody qualified, and Club Champion is your place to do that. We do have a little promo going. You get a free driver or iron fitting with a club purchase using code Fried Egg at clubchampion.com/fried egg.
Perfect.
That's, I believe, all I got from Club Champion. With how little of golf I've played, I would fully need the expert to like help me get a sense of it. You know what I mean? But like from your side of things too, Matthew, you're like way more qualified and have played a bunch of golf this summer. Like it follows for, people who don't play as much like me to those who are in and out all the time, 100 plus rounds a year, all that stuff.
Now I'm not playing 100 plus times a year. That's a little more egregious. But yeah, like fitting's very, very hard. I try to do my own club work. I try to do my own stuff, and it can get very overwhelming. I opened a can of worms that I didn't know how deep it was. Yeah, you got to go to these spots that have these master fitters. Because I mean, even if you go get fit at the wrong spot and they don't have a good fitter, like you're going to get the wrong clubs and you're just spending all this money. And the clubs aren't going to work. You're going to be pissed off. Just go to Club Champion to go see a master fitter. They know what they're doing. They got the combos. You know what? Let's make it simple on yourself.
Yes.
Stay off the internet. Just go see somebody.
That's just sage advice for more than club fittings. Stay off the internet. But it counts for this too. So yes, once again, go to clubchampion.com/fried egg, use code fried egg, and you get a free driver or iron fitting with a club purchase. Thank you so much to Club Champion, and let's talk to Angel Yin.
She's a 2-time LPGA Tour winner, the current number 8 in the world, a former boss of mine, and LPGA fan favorite. It's the one and only Angel Yin, aka Pork Chop Samurai. How are we doing, Angel?
Yeah. I love it.
Where do we find you? You in LA or Orlando? Where are we at?
Orlando. Just relaxing, cleaning the house. Caveman's not the rooftop yet.
The domesticated side of tour life that no one really talks about, huh?
Yeah, when you come home and your house is apocalyptic and no one is taking care of it, yeah, it's pretty sad.
Are you in a house by yourself now? What's the living situation like? You got roommates?
Well, since I only have one parent that's in my life, it's very easy for them to just travel wherever they want to. And sometimes wherever they want to is where I am.
I miss Mama Yin. She's a classic. You never know what she's going to say next.
She can help with some of the cleaning.
Oh, no. She says hire someone. What are you talking about? Actually, a funny story. I was trying to get into the house and I knew that the door was like already kind of jammed. But then I never fixed it. But this time, because I was away for a longer time and it's been raining more in Orlando than ever before, it like oxidized. So it got stuck. So I couldn't even enter the door for like 10 minutes. And then I like got it open.
How'd you get it? Just kick it down?
No.
You had to kick it.
Oh, soon. If we couldn't really open, then we had to. But that's more expensive.
Yeah, it is.
So I was fixing the door. Now it works. So.
Are you on the YouTube watching like how-to videos on home stuff? Like how are you learning all this stuff?
No, I was like thinking in my head, oh my God, we just need to oil it up.
There you go. Oh,
what is that bottle called?
WD-40.
4D.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. That's a staple
Look at you
in our
being
house.
a domesticated homeowner, Angel. I haven't really talked to you in 3 or 4 years, and you're all domesticated. Look at you.
Yeah, it's rough out here. Just trying to save a few bucks.
Yeah.
It's funny. A former boss of mine, Angel. I do have to tell the story. Do you the first day I worked for you? You remember all this? You probably don't remember, but
which part?
I had gotten in 2019. I go to work for you, and I just come off my wedding and honeymoon in Hawaii. Fly all the way to Canada to work for you in Canada. The Canadian Open was our first event together, and I get there, I send you a text, no response. Like, oh, I landed. Like, what time do you want to get together and meet the morning? No response. Wake up in the morning, nothing. I was like, all right, I guess I'll just go to the golf course. I go walk the golf course Monday morning, nothing. And about 1 or 2 o'clock, I get a text. Oh, hey, just woke up. I slept for like 14 hours. I'll be hit the golf course. I was like, thank God. I thought I like kind of went all the way to Canada. I didn't know if I had a player that week or not.
Up.
You know what was funny is back then, it's been happened, and a caddy stood a player up. Remember that?
All craziest stuff. I mean,
wow.
I showed up to a tournament with 2 jobs one time.
I mean, back then, like the tour stories between caddies and players were pretty wild.
Yeah.
Now it's not as bad.
A little more tame.
But everyone's cleaned up their act a little bit.
Oh yeah. It's like way more normal, which is not as fun for like a person that's listening to stories, but obviously it's more fun for everybody else's sanity.
Well, you like the hot goss, right?
It is pretty fun to hear when you're away from it, not part of it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I love it if I'm not involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, parts of the LPGA Tour can't be a traveling middle school at times, it feels like. But,
I'm sure. Just think like you have that many parties involved, that many people, there's bound to be something juicy going on at all times.
Well, I just, what's really interesting is like, I feel like a lot of people on LPGA Tour seem so normal. And then you get to know them and you're like, well, okay, you're actually human. You have your own, like, kinks and twerks and like whatever it is. But on the outside, everybody just looks so normal, so alike. Everybody's just like wants to work together and no like self-desire and all that stuff. But then once you get to know them, you're okay, you're human, you're normal. You're not all perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're weird too.
I think LPGA Tour, like the people who are involved are really good at hiding it.
I think it's a little bit better when some of that comes out. You know what I mean?
Well, I would like it to show in the beginning, not like you have to take the time to get to know them, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's why you're a fan favorite, Angel. I think you just say what you want when you want to say it, and there's no holding back. It was a pleasurable thing working for you because the conversations we have, like the stuff you would say, I have we come out of left field half the time. Be like, hey Matt, what do you think about this? And it'd be like some deep introspective philosophical topic in the middle of a round. I'm like, what in the world did this come from?
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a 9-hour already. Let's talk about something else.
I mean, you're out there 5.5 hours. You got to find something to chat about, right?
It's true.
The conversations are always interesting. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about some golf, not about the personal life and the domestication of, make sure your door opens. You kind of taken off a little bit the last couple of years. I'm happy to see it because I always knew you had the ability. But, let's go back to 2023. I know that runner-up finish at Chevron wasn't the result you wanted, but it seemed like that was a major catalyst that year to like a breakout season of yours. Going into 2023, what really clicked to get you going, you think, looking back on a couple of years now?
To be honest, I don't really know. I mean, I wasn't playing good before that. Like 2019, then COVID hit. COVID like really dragged my golf game down, and I dragged myself down. I was experimenting, and it just led me into a hole where I just started getting injured because it wasn't the right way. And
I remember the injuries.
yeah, it was just really bad to the point where like I don't even know if I could continue the career because of how bad the injuries were.
How'd you get out of the injuries?
Well, I had to really set myself down and call people up, ask for their opinion, and then fix it myself. And I was just lucky enough where I met the right people to be able to do it. But I really sat myself down and just started looking at old videos of mine and saying like, okay, what changed? Nothing's changed. Why is this changing? Why am I changing? So I was like, okay, there's one thing that changed: my golf clubs. And then so I just started sitting there and just thinking. I literally just sat like on a couch, which was just like thinking, and then I figured it out. And then but it's still taking me like time to like. So I was playing so much and I was so tired, and like my vagus nerve was kind of messed up. Well, actually, really messed up, and so I was like really on edge because of stress, travel, and all that. My stuff that was coming in 2020 was showing in my swing again, and so the injury is still there, the weakness is still there, and so this time around it showed me that I still have more work to do on that, and which was pretty fun because you're always trying to improve and do something better, and so my biggest goal, what I enjoy the most, is maintaining what I have and doing better. I'm not a huge person on change, so I find it fun that I get to figure out what I need to do to maintain and then be slightly better than what I was before. And so, obviously it's showing and it's working because it did reach top 10 in the world this year.
Yeah.
Big time.
That's awesome.
What's when you talk about equipment, the chain, so was it just you got back to some an older set of clubs that you'd used before? Like, what was the equipment thing? Because I think Matthew kind of gave me a sneak peek. Like, you're pretty into the equipment side of things, right? Yeah.
Well, you have different thoughts on equipment than most people do.
Yeah, I do. So what happened was, I mean, obviously, I still stand by if anyone were to ask me for my opinion. I went to 10 grams lighter, and throughout my entire childhood, I've used pretty heavy stuff, which started on 25 C tapers. It's just a stiff plus. They're really heavy for a person that's like so young and a girl, and it's not normal. And people around me were talking, saying like, "Oh, I was just getting tired. I wasn't able to close out on a tournament," and I was getting frustrated, and I wanted to win because I was so close. And so I was like, "Okay, let's try something else because it's COVID time. We have time." And so I went 10 grams lighter on all my shafts, and it just was really good in the beginning. I was like striping it. And then during COVID, once the courses opened up courses were the first things to open up. So I had the time and I went out and played pretty much every single day because I was so excited and I was playing good and I'm excited to go back on tour and see whatever. And then honestly, just to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And when I hit tour, we were at Royal Troon, this like sharp pain hit my shoulder.
I
It was like,
remember. Yeah.
it was horrible. Yeah. So the first day it happened, I was like, okay. So I went to the physio, and the tour physio was really good. He assessed it, just seemed maybe a little tight. Next day, I'm losing like 50% of my strength.
Wow.
And my strength on my left arm is the dominant hand. And so from that day, I've lost 50% of strength every day before that. And so it got so bad to a point like afterwards, because it deteriorated so fast that I couldn't even hold a water bottle without pain.
Jeez.
And I couldn't drive with my left hand, and I did everything with my left hand. So I had to switch everything to my right hand. So I was just popping pills at one point to be able to play, because I always felt the responsibility to uphold this house that I'm cleaning. And so I'm like, they're not those people that are like, I'm just gonna give up. So I while I was treating it, I was, playing. Obviously, it wasn't great golf, but we made every single cut. But as we all know, making the cut on LPGA does not give a life. Like, it's not as bad as missing the cut, but it's resulting to the result as bad as missing the cut, because you're not going to make any points, you're not going to make any money, you're barely just covering everything. You're not losing as much money, but you have to at least finish top 20 or better at times to be able to make a life out of it. And so we try to fix it, and then I think 2022 was when it was really bad, and I just had to sit myself down and see what it was. Because of 2020, my status was still good for 2 years, so I had that, you can say, leap year where I took advantage of it and didn't like go out of it. But yeah, it was getting super bad, and then mentally you get wrecked because you're like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
We had Dr. Julie on last week, and she was kind of going on about kind of like how the after effects of what tour life has, and kind of week in, week out, and trying to maintain a life is not easy. And I know you've been going through it. So you said you lighten it. I remember you lightening the shafts. Are you back to playing? Are you still playing lighter stuff? Are you working with our friend Chorus? I remember Chorus.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we went back to see my old stuff, and I'm still using the C tapers and the S Plus. So it was funny. This funny topic that came up like a month ago when I was with Chorus was all my friends, even the people who don't play golf anymore, like their hands are full of calluses, and I don't have any.
You don't have any calluses?
I don't have any calluses. I have one that I pick at, so it keeps coming back, but I like it. It's like my little thing, like like a nervous tick where you like to pick at things.
Yeah.
We get you some cord grips, and you can try and change that real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have any. I don't have any calluses, and we were talking about it, and the Chorus had this interesting theory. It's not a theory, but he thinks it's right, and I'm just gonna say theory for safety, so people don't go crazy. But when the club and shaft and everything of the component works together for that person and it fits them perfectly, it doesn't create a callus. Like my friend who hasn't played pretty much for like 8 months, his hand is still full of calluses. And then and then he play again, and then it'll just like start going again. People who don't play as much will have like harsher calluses than mine, but actually I don't have any. And so that comes in like, oh, okay, so these clubs fit me great now, because when I was younger, those were technically too heavy for me because my calluses were more than now. And like I remember my skin ripping back then.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And then I remember when I turned pro, I got stronger. And then I started like noticing that all my calluses disappeared. And my mom, would just absolutely just, I don't know if I can curse, but she would just shit on me and say, oh, you still practice enough.
Get out there.
Yeah.
You're not done until you got calluses.
Yeah, she goes, you just don't practice as hard or work as hard or want it as hard as when you're a kid. And I was like, oh, I think I'm playing more these days.
Wait, I want to know who is this Chorus character?
Philosopher Chorus. I feel like I need to go see him. I got some calluses. Maybe my clothes aren't fit right.
Is he coach? What does he do for you, Angel?
He's my club fitter. I've known him since I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does he still have super long hair, right?
Yes. He's got more hair than me.
Taiwan.
I feel like I'm balding when I'm like really stressed out here.
So Chorus is a club fitter with some good locks. All right.
Oh yeah, he's pretty cool as a human being.
I mean, with a name like Chorus, you have to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you remember in 2019 that Solheim Cup, your clubs didn't show up, and the poor ping guys were like, let's make you a set or something. And like they try to bring me into the trailer to make the set for you. I'm like, guys, you guys have like no business trying to make a set for her. Like the specs aren't going to be right. Like, and the driver's not broken in. You got to have a break-in drive for the driver. You still believe in all that? Is Patrick Dempsey still breaking in your drivers?
He's not breaking it in anymore, but I still believe in the break-ins. It's different.
So like
You got to wear that face down.
Yeah, you don't want to be putting it in play unless it's had like a break-in period.
Yeah.
Yeah. That tracks.
Although I have to say the ping stuff does not need as much breaking in.
How do you know when it's broken in?
You can feel the compression.
Okay.
Man, that's just like that's one of the examples of pros are on a whole nother level. I don't know if I've ever felt compression differences.
It's like if you gave Angel like someone else's clubs, it would be like a totally like you wouldn't. It's not like you could just pick up a set of golf clubs and go. I mean, you still have ability and still play golf, but it's like not your clubs.
Yeah,
not my clubs. Yeah. I'm not as anal as I used to be, because I had to get that over mentally when I was like doing all my changes and trying to be better as a golfer. Not blame the club as much as blaming myself.
Yeah,
blame the caddy.
Yeah, or blame the caddy.
Well, like even your 60 degree, because you're such a good chipper, like you had this sick grind. Like you grind the heck out of that back edge of the leading edge of the, like you would have like 0 degrees of bounce and just a crap load of lead tape on it. It was like an awesome setup. It was always interesting seeing what you came up with.
Yeah, though a 60 degree is still where I'm like the most picky, to be honest, to this day.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When did the clubs show up for Solheim?
Like the day before.
Day before. It was great because we didn't play any practice rounds. Like Angel's like, I'm not going to walk the golf course 6 times. Like I've already seen it. I know what to do. Matt's walked it 7 times. It's fine. Me and Laura Davies and Ollie drank too many gin and tonics every night. And you like destroyed everybody that week. I had some really good matches.
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable. I love Solheim weeks. You know, the good thing is like Julie and Wendy and everybody, Nancy, and then Pat, they're all really laid back, well, with the leadership of Julie. So, you know, it is great to be able to walk with your teammates, but I think Julie also understood where, like, she just wanted me to show face, and then I can go back and do whatever I want, because I wanted to sleep in and, you know, recover.
Yeah.
And with Julie, I think it was okay. I think if it was anybody else, it would have been a really tough time. They wanted me to be with the team constantly. So it's definitely was special to play for Julie. I think it was probably one of the best moments of my career.
Yeah. What do you like missing out on 2024 at Robert Trent Jones and everything? Next year we'll be overseas in Amsterdam. What's like, is that already ticked on your list of things you want to get back to Solheim? Like how high up on that is for like the motivation for Angel Yin?
I mean, at this point, actually, it's funny. I actually talked to Angela. Angela wanted to start talking to everybody and start prepping for the Solheim.
Nice.
If I tell you that it's really high up on my list, I'll be lying, and I don't like to lie.
Okay.
So I think good golf results into whatever opportunities you get, just like international crown. And honestly, international is more exciting to me. But, you know, representing America overseas is always fun. I mean, it's not as fun as representing America in the States, but I think I'll play more overseas than in the States now, if I, you know, continue to play next year.
What are you looking forward to about International Crown?
Say that again?
What are you looking forward to about International Crown?
The crowd, Korea, I mean, I think it's going to be rowdy.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And you're playing a lot of good golf right now. So, you know, keep that going and things fall into place. You're exactly right there. Let's talk a little bit, like after 2023 in Chevron, how huge was later that year winning against Lilia Vu, kind of hottest player that year? How good did it feel to kind of get that win after all the injuries, all the struggles, you know, the difficulty of COVID and coming back from that and everything? How good did it feel? How'd you celebrate in Shanghai? You have a little fun after that one?
I actually didn't. I think at that point where I was, I mean, it sounds really like funny, but I've really made peace. And I was at that point in my life where I wanted to win, but at the same time, if I didn't have a win for the rest of my life, I would have been not like as stressed out as I would before or as unhappy. And so I was just really thankful more than anything that I even had the win, because to me, to win a golf tournament incorporates so much luck. No matter what people tell you, like skill, whatever. No, those are people just lying to you or not knowing the situation or trying to make you feel really good and boost your ego. Because to win a golf tournament, you have to be really skilled, but at the same time, really, really lucky, because everybody else in that field is just as skilled.
Yeah.
And so, Sandra Palmer said to me this year, she goes, "This is what my coach told me." And she said, when you're walking down the 18th fairway, you want Lady Luck to take the wheel and you want God to put his hand on your shoulders.
Pretty
Because
good.
that's how much luck you need to win a tournament.
I don't know, Angel. You went and made 30 birdies in Thailand this year. I don't know how much of that was luck. It seemed like there's a lot of skill involved there.
No, it's a lot of skill too, but come on. It's a lot of luck for me to win against Aki that day. She shot 11 under. 11 under.
So nuts.
What was
So
that
nuts.
duel like? Because you just get lost in the moment. You're just like, you're trying to keep up with her as you're playing with her. Like, what was that kind of duel like going down in Thailand?
I mean, you're completely trying not to get lost. I mean, because by the 11th hole, she just tied you.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, let's just try to keep it together.
Like you're in the lead, but you felt like you were like chasing her almost with how low she was going. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You're like, okay, well, let's just keep it together. Let's just calm your nerves.
What was that your first time playing with her? What was like the introduction to the EYs and kind of they've kind of had that Japanese breakout season? Like, is that your first time seeing her and playing with her up close?
Yeah, it's really funny because we went to the Pro-Am party and then they like dragged up two girls and they were like, "Those are twins." And I was like, "What?" "Those are really good twins." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then, you see someone shoot 10 under, like, "Oh, is that the twin?" "Yes, that's the twin." I was like,
Which
"Okay."
one?
So then that's when you start getting to know who they are. And then, they kind of like she didn't disappear, but you kind of just play your own game until the final day you get paired with them. So that was the first time ever. And then Wally was on the bag and stuff. That was pretty funny. But I think they have really good caddies. They do a rotation. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
We've definitely talked about that. Me and Aaron still talk a lot, so I kind of been up to date with that one.
Yeah, and so I think the two caddies that they picked were actually, pretty good, getting them to be integrated in American world, speaking English and all that. So I think it's really good for the players, to be honest.
Yeah. You ever thought about doing a caddy rotation? You gonna put two caddies on the bag and switch them out?
No, it's too stressful for me. I barely play enough tournaments because I was talking to my caddy about the 4-1 deal, because I think next year I'm gonna get slammed with 2 4-1s.
What's 401? Can you explain that?
What's a 401? Hold on.
A 4-1.
Yeah.
Matt knows a 4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you said a 401, like your 401k. Like what?
No.
Like, I know.
401k. 4-1. You gotta play once every 4 years.
Yep.
I don't think I'm ever gonna reach it, even though they put the limit to 200 tournaments. Because last year or 2 years ago, whatever, I played 17 tournaments in a season, and it was just because not there was nothing to play. It's just I wanted to play something. That was also one of the changes I did for me to play better. It was I wanted to play tournaments that I was so excited about and rested up for. So that's sacrificing some tournaments that I might really want to play, but I can't because it doesn't fit into the whole entire schedule.
Yeah.
And so I'm still trying to figure it out because I screwed up my schedule in the last month. And that's why I'm taking a whole month off, because I need to really settle down. But
did you forget to enter in something, or did you?
No, I just wanted to play Portland. I wanted to play Portland, but I needed to take off Portland.
Yeah.
I mean, the people there are so lovely. And
Portland's
I love
great.
Portland. Well, Matt actually got me to love Portland. This is all his theory. Yes.
That's my I ruined her. My
Yeah,
fault.
he got me. He was like, "You love Portland. This place is awesome." And then I was like, "You know what? I do love Portland."
What, like just the restaurants, the whole scene? What about
Yeah,
it?
the whole scene, the
Yeah.
golf course. The golf course is amazing, and then I played Canada because I looked up some pictures on the website. Course is amazing, and then I was like, I can't miss out on this. So I went over there and played, and then uh Boston for sure. I love Boston. The people, FM. It's just like unbelievable week, and I really don't want to miss out. Then I truly have FOMO, which I really don't have often, but Boston is one of those tournaments where I would have FOMO. And so I really screwed myself up because I shouldn't have played Portland. And then if I played Portland, I needed to skip Canada. But then I was like, you know what? It's banned. Play all three.
Yeah.
Awful. Awful
Yeah,
idea.
So I'm reading this as it's Matthew's
It's
fault.
my fault. It's my fault always.
Blame the caddy. Yeah.
Poor Angel would have to listen to me going on about nothing about golf course architecture for a whole year, and it's just like, good lord. She's like, can you just shut up about this golf course?
So you so no Kroger, no Walmart, no Lotte, or are you going to Hawaii?
I'm going to Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll tee it
Yeah.
up next in Hawaii. Gotcha.
Nice.
Well, that's
nice
a good.
little
I
month
mean,
off.
it's a long season. Like you're obviously in everything in Asia if you want to be. International Crown too. So it's a big stretch coming up. So time off may.
Gosh, it's
As long
crazy
as,
looking
as long
at.
as the house doesn't make you too tired and you
Yeah.
don't actually get to take a break.
Oh gosh.
You gotta get some art on the wall behind you there. I mean, it's a crazy schedule. You had your win early in Thailand. You kind of had some other good finishes, the match play and others, and you had this hot summer. You had like 3 top 10s in majors there in a row. It seemed like kind of like the U.S. Women's Open, KPMG, and Evian. That final round at Evian kind of took everyone by surprise, even the TV crew, because they didn't hardly show you that crazy round that finish at Evian. What did you make of that summer? What was the kind of the keys going on this summer? Just kind of the way you had your schedule going?
Yeah, so now, I mean, I haven't had time to reflect on it, but now since we're talking about it, I'm going to reflect on it real quick. I think it showed that whatever I'm trying to do I'm on the right path. My entire focus after my first win was majors, and I haven't been able to accomplish that, scheduling everything around majors, until really this year. I still messed up a little bit at Chevron by playing El Cab, in my opinion. But I think it's really shown, and I think I'm going to continue doing that for next year. Although they're going to make it pretty easy because it's back-to-back majors.
They're back.
Yeah, you're just going to play a bunch of majors in a row. Hope you get hot getting like this
I don't
next
really
summer.
need to schedule anything because it's just majors next year.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about schedule stuff. I was like, that is a big stretch. 3 majors in 6 weeks.
I mean, you want 2 weeks to recover, but no, you get 1 week to recover before you go into the next major.
Yeah, wild.
You do these majors. How you told us earlier you travel with your mattress now. How are you going to handle logistics of bringing a mattress to all these majors in Europe and all that stuff? The mattress queen.
So Europe, I'm not worried about. I did bring it over this year, but I'm not going to bring it anymore.
Why is that? The
Because
mattresses are fine, or
the mattresses are firm there.
okay?
People are not weird and sleep in like cocoons and that just sink you in there.
So how do you pack a mattress? Do you like have a travel bag for it? You roll it up? Like how does this work?
Years ago when ANA sponsored our tournament, they gave us the Airweave, which is a portable mattress topper. And then I saw Mao Saigo at Chevron with it, and I was like, I have one. So I dug through and I found it, and I was like, I'm traveling with it now.
Boom. Well, you need to
Thanks
call
to
up
Mao.
Louis Oosthuizen and get some tips from him on how he coordinates his mattress travel, because he's been doing that for a while for his back. So you and Louis, buddies in the mattress world.
We should get a mattress sponsorship now.
Absolutely. There's enough of them out there now. There's like bajillion mattress in a box companies. So talking about the majors, Frisco, let's bring up Frisco. You had some thoughts on Frisco that made the rounds. I want to know, I more want to know because this is going to be a place that we're going to see a lot of. If your opinion has changed at all, like a few months after, it's not black and white. From my side of things, I liked a lot about it. I didn't like a lot about it though too. So interested if your kind of opinion and thoughts on Frisco have changed now that we're a few months out from that.
My opinion on it was that it was always great. The reporter had something out against me. That's all I
Wasn't
have to
the
say.
quote you said it was the quote came out
Boring,
directly saying
yeah.
you thought it was
It's
boring.
boring.
So
It's boring.
So boring but great.
I thought it was. I like the difficulty it presented. Was some of the golf courses need to be improved? Yes. Some of the holes were, let's just say, stupid. But it was a great test. I like when the golf courses are hard. I don't have a problem with that. So I think it's all PGA who did a really good job. Course, boring, stupid on some holes. It's not that great. He needs
Yeah.
to, whoever needs to come in and kind of touch up a little bit, which they're going to do for the men.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question was like, how do you think the men are going to react to that place? And I'm with you. I think there are going to be some changes there before the men step foot on it.
Well, they're going to go and fix the tee boxes. And
Level
then
them.
they're going to go fix a bunch of other stuff. Trust me, when the guys go there, it's going to be pristine as they always are for them. And then, because sorry, a side subject is someone came up to me and was like, I don't understand. Women's putting is not as good as a men. I was like, let me just take you a step back.
Yeah.
Men put on perfect greens every week. It's exactly what it is, like whatever they put on. Girls adjust constantly. Even though the rules official tell you, the green is rolling like this. The green is rolling like that. It is not. It is not.
Gotcha.
Jody travels with the step meter. So.
Oh, really? Her own step meter?
Yes, that just says a lot.
Wow.
Anyways, I think the golf course is just boring, but it's fun because I don't mind. I think that the hottest subject and the topic everybody was talking about was that it was too long. Let me put it into perspective. You, the girl who won Evian, on Google says she's 4'11". She finished the same as me that week.
Yeah.
So for everybody else who's saying all that, let's check your height first. Because if you're not 4'10", let's just focus on the game.
Yeah. Yeah. You won fourth call hitting lumber into like every single par four. Yeah. Yeah.
It seems as though it's like setup has been a constant. We've had a couple of guests on and course setup has come up a lot. Do you have what I can't remember exactly what your opinions are and how do we feel about course setup on the LPGA now? Does it like I all kind of came ahead at Aaron Hills with Mel talking about par fives being too like not being easy enough, and it's kind of like how do you feel about the whole makeup of course setup? Do you think par five should be shorter? Should it be longer? If you were the course setup czar of the day, what would you do?
Well, first I made a mistake. I mean, you should won the AIG, but
I was gonna say it was fourth
sorry
call.
about
That's
that.
all right. You're good.
Yeah. Course setup. So I'll take TPC Boston as an example. There's this hole where it's reachable. I just can't remember which hole it was. It's this hole that's reachable. Unfortunately, we had some weather, so they probably wanted to push us back, so there's no holdup. But that would have been a really good hole if it's reachable. Mm-hmm. Now, for par fives, why does every par five need to be reachable? If everything is reachable or majority of it is reachable, then it should be called a par four. A par five, like congressional. Were you counting for me there?
No, I wasn't. But I heard the going is on about that one from Marina.
So congressional number 9 is a monstrous par five.
Yeah.
I have to hit driver, hybrid, 8-iron, whatever, next.
Wow.
It's a 3-shot hole.
Like properly
and the thing is, I love that hole. I love that hole because it really defines what a par five is. You have to hit a good drive. You have to hit a good second shot. And then you have to hit a good third shot for a birdie to happen. And so what part of golf, par fours, par threes, where we don't need to hit good shots? Like, to the point now where like some of the setup for par fives is like you can just blast and do whatever. And you're like, oh, well, it's a par five. Who cares?
It's fair.
So it's like getting lazy. And I feel like we're really disrespecting par fives as a whole. because everybody's like, well, it's you're expected to make a birdie when you go to a par 5.
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
Why?
I think a lot of it is a lot of people are watching the men's game, and where it's a kind of a driver wedge fest, and it's hard for them to find 3-shot par 5s for a lot of the players. So you have fans see that, and then they turn on the women's game, and it looks different, right? I prefer that the women's game fits the scale of the courses that they're at, and it's not a driver wedge fest. And I don't think it's something that setups should be trying to mimic how the men are playing par 5s.
I was telling this to Bethan, and I said, I think our product, LPGA, would really start thriving when we understand what our product is. We're women, we're not men. And once we can start understanding that, we will take off. Because if we compare ourselves to men, then we should start changing our pronouns to he, him. Because we don't have the ability what men can produce. That's why we're different.
Yeah.
And men, when amateurs go and play with the men's pro-am, they'd be like, well, the experience isn't that great. When they come and play with women, like, oh wow, you guys are so willing and open to talk. That's different. I mean, that's where we're mothers, we're nurturing. Like, women are just like leaning towards that, which more caring. And obviously we can't produce speed that's going to be like 130, 120 ball speed, like 120 swing speed, and then like 180 ball speed. I mean, there's just some stuff that's crazy. Like, no matter how much we worked, it just won't happen.
Yeah.
Well, heck, I mean, the pro-ams, they get to play the same tees. It's not like you get, like, even the men's side, you go play a pro-am, you're playing a different set of tee boxes. These LPGA pro-ams are playing the same tees. I mean, you're always fun in pro-ams. We have a really good mutual friend, Dan Taylor, from the pro-am days. Yeah. My real question, though, thinking about you and your game the last couple of years, you've kind of become this like unbelievable putter over the years, last couple of years, like leading tour in strokes games putting. Has there been anything that's kind of taken off with like what you've worked on, or just kind of what's made it all click the last couple of years? It all kind of took off last year. It seemed, I feel like you made 1 million feet of putts that week and narrowly almost won.
Yeah. Nothing changed for me and my putting. It's probably I'm hitting more green, so I'm able to have more putts to putt. And the strokes gained rolled out, because it used to be just strokes, how many like putts you have
putts per
round.
green regulation. Yeah, this isn't a good stat.
Yeah, you can't really like gauge it, but strokes gained really changed the game, and that's where I like shot out. So I haven't changed. It's just the difference of measuring of people's putting changed, which is more accurate in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know, nothing.
It's fun to watch you when you get going and rolling in putts, because like everything's makeable and you don't know what you're gonna see and what you're gonna make. Because it's a blast when things get hot for you. One more quick question. We talked about Boston a little bit, and you were there at the players meeting before play started. It seems like everything's very positive right now with Craig coming on and some of the things he's doing. What's your overall experience with Craig so far? Do you think he's prioritizing the right things? And, are you as optimistic as it seems everybody else is about where he's going to take things?
Well, first, I have to applaud him for being able to get us a sponsorship for Founders. We're going to go to San Francisco. He found that venue. He connected us with Fortinet. Everything just happened. And, that's a pretty good statement to make onto tour. It's good. As for my optimism, I think from the few times he's spoken to me, I think he understands that I don't like to mess around and give fake answers. So I don't know how it's gonna go. I do think he might fit into the role better because he's already shown that his capability. So I think his connection is good. As for everything else, I think I just need to see more time.
Yeah, it's early.
Yeah, it's too early. I don't understand. People are just so excited, which is good, but like at the same time, we got to give a little bit of time. So I think I'm in the minority because everybody's saying good things, and I'm coming here like, well, let's just see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
skeptic Angel. It's healthy.
no. We've been talking. It's like, well, let's not grade them on the schedule. Let's not like say it's a success based on Fortinet. Like there needs to be some time there. But so far so good it seems, and we'll see. Hopefully it's more good news is coming. So Matthew, what else? You got anything else to toss at Angel here?
I was just really curious to kind of figure out what got the putting taken off, but it sounds like you're just kind of doing the same thing, which is great. Because my belief about your golf game was like when you have that fluidity about your golf swing and that rhythm, and you get it going the right way, it's like you're unstoppable. Which that's why I wanted to go work for you at the beginning, because I knew you were good. It's just a matter of it's nice to see you taking off without me holding you back anymore.
Oh please! Now you're doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Angel's
and you
keeping
hit, like controversial topics constantly, so that's good.
Oh yeah. I think you're smart. You're keeping your putting secrets close to the chest, not letting those out for free.
There's really no secret. You want to know my secret? I mean, not everyone's gonna like it. It's luck.
Oh, I mean, you also had a very adamant routine of like setting a chalk line and then the ruler and everything. Are we still doing that?
Yes, 100%. I mean, like I said in the beginning with my golf swing, I like to maintain. If it's working, I'm going to maintain and see what I can do to be better. But I think with golf, there's always so much going on that everybody's like, well, let's tinker with this. Let's do this. Let's try this. That you don't even know where to look. It's like, a puppy going to the park and you're like, whoa, there's so many friends I can make. And so I think always go with the same choice and go with that Great Dane that you hung out with for the first time when they were nice to you, because then you can slowly start exploring outside and see maybe that Chihuahua will talk to you, because most of the time if you go by yourself you're gonna get bit.
Do you got to go tell Nelly this about the putters? Maybe you got to give Nelly some advice about the putter switches. It seems like she's changing putters a lot this year.
Oh, me too. I have a lot of putting changes, like putter changes. It's just like, it's so fun. There's so much good stuff going around. But I have a few that I travel. I think I travel with like 3 putters now, But that's because of other reasons. Evian, I think the green speed was 9 to 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was like putting on carpet, and I just like couldn't get used to it the first day. It was
so did you want a heavier putter, or?
I want a putter that rolls by itself, so I could still make the same stroke, but it would roll a little bit further.
Yeah.
Man, it was tough. It was so rough.
You figured it out the last day. You made everything, it seemed like. But.
Well, okay, we got mattress, we got 3 putters. I think maybe stimp meter, you might have to take a note from Jody and throw that in the bag too.
So my caddy and I have been talking about it. The problem is you can't use it on the course. You can use it on the practice putting green, but how accurate is that? And then at the same time, if I'm using it, I'm like, I think I might, to be honest. But I just don't want to fight against LPGA on this small stuff when we have something bigger to look at. And I just would hope that they can just tell us the truth.
Yeah. Well, it's an important thing to know. Speed of greens matters.
Yeah. Although they've been pretty good the last couple of tournaments, to be honest. I think if it's fast, they can tell us what it is. If it's slow, then they would just stock answer 12.
Yeah.
There's no way some of those greens are 12. I can go ahead and tell you that's not true. That's awesome. What else do you play? You taking everything off until Hawaii? What are you playing in Asia? I know you're playing International Crown. What's the rest of the schedule look like the rest of the year?
So the rest of the schedule is perfect, like pristine, compared to my last month. It's Shanghai. So I'm going to play Hawaii, Shanghai, break, International, Malaysia, CME.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that. That's the one thing I could work out and not wreck my brain for over.
Well, don't hurt yourself on the schedule too much.
Yeah. Schedule's tough. It's tough. It's a puzzle that's not an easy puzzle to put together. So I'm glad
because you have a lot of desire and want, and you're just like, well, you get blinded by it instead of like the actual goal. And so hopefully next year I'll be even better at it.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to watch you through the end of the year. International Crown is going to be incredible. I hope that the crowds are out there and that's a fun time for you because you earned it. It's not an easy team to make. You earned it with the play. So it's been cool. It's been a fun season to watch you play, Angel. Thanks so much for hopping on, and it's fun to see you and Matthew give it to each other a little bit.
Yeah, just like old times.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on. And it's been
You're welcome anytime.
cool to talk to.
Yeah.
They're very different. It's a different podcast feel. I like it.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Well,
high praise from Angel. I like it.
Like Matt said, you're welcome back anytime. So thank you, Angel.
And thanks.
All right. Big thanks to Angel. Man, always keeps you on your toes. Keeps you on your toes. Never sure what's coming out, what she's going to go next. So that was fun. We knew it'd be fun, and we'd want to have her on for a while.
I miss Angel. It's the tour needs more Angels. It's funny, she gets a bad rap, I think. I remember when she first came out, she was very young, hit the ball very far, and it seemed like this injury stuff has kind of like reined her in a little bit to really kind of be introspective, to think about how she plays golf and what she's able to do, and kind of created a new dimension of her game. It seems like she's learned to hit different shots rather than going full bore out, go at every pin. It has definitely seemed like her game has progressed very, very well as she's aged.
It's almost more well-rounded now because she doesn't have as much power. Like this, she still gets it off the tee.
Yeah, it's not like she's short.
She's not the extreme outlier like she was a bit, and the putting's come on, and she jokes around about some of it kind of being luck and whatnot, but don't let that feel. There's a lot of work, and a lot of work coming back from the injuries. A lot there.
You could put it together. She's saying how she just works on the same things, is not trying to reinvent the wheel, and I think that kind of thing creates your own luck, right? And so that's her, knowing what works for her and believes in her system and works on that and develops her own stuff. Might be a little weird, might be a little different. Her own thoughts. Gosh, some of the stuff that comes out of her mouth.
What was your take on stimp meters? I had no idea Jody Shadoff was rolling around with a stimp meter, and two, the inconsistencies. It sounds like there might be out there.
Well, I mean, yeah. You don't have the same Office of Championship Management that the PGA Tour does, running around and making all their venues exactly the same. So you're playing, and that's the difficult part about the LPGA, right? So you go to golf courses week in, week out, and nothing's the same. It's not like the sand's not the same every single week. You get different sand, you get different greens, you get different grasses. So you kind of have to adapt and learn how to do it. So, Jody's got her own system. I remember working for Michelle. She had her own, her dad developed kind of like an almost, I call it wasn't aim point. It was aim point base, but it was like a chart based on the green speeds, how putts would break. I called it Wee Point. And had these charts, and like it basically it was kind of that kind of thing. So she knew, if she knew what the break was by reading it with her feet, she knew exactly how much a curved putt was going to break based on the speed. So it was always my job to figure out how fast the greens were. So I'm over here texting or finding a rules official every morning, or texting poor Annie, asking her what the green speed was, and she would have to give me an answer, or someone would have to give me an answer. And it was always, and so we'd go out there with, I'd have like 4 or 5 different charts based on speed of my bib. And we'd be kind of feeling it out. And so many times it'd be like, oh, this is what they told us it was. But Michelle's like, this is not this. It's this. It's like a foot faster or a foot slower.
Like they would get, each round they get what the greens are running at. And it would say like 12. And Michelle could tell easily that it was like 11.
Yeah. Like, this isn't right. All right.
Yeah.
It's this.
Okay.
And so it's just like, or you try on the putting green and you measure I think the problem is now you can't measure on the golf course. I don't think the tours don't even allow green books anymore. So it's kind of like, I'm curious I remember Angel kind of made some comments about not wanting to deal with officials. I wonder how Jody is able to measure and all that
maybe
stuff.
She's just measuring off a putting green, but that can certainly differ from what's out there on the course.
So it goes into like this, the golf courses are different every week, and the greens, like she said, Evian, very slow. Again, that happens sometimes. And like they might try to, fudge and say they're 11.5 when they're really maybe 10s, but who knows?
I'm sure from a player's side, that consistency would be appreciated, and more of the similarity across venues would be appreciated and just make their jobs a little bit easier. But again, to kind of talk about what we were talking about with setup, it's like, as a fan, I kind of appreciate that difference, and that there's, some feel out there that you got to rely on, and it's not the same week in, week out. Like, I kind of like that from a fan side of things. I have to say.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
I actually like it. You look at it as a detractor saying, "Oh, it's not as good as like week in, week out." But look at like I'd almost say that PGA Tour side kind of neuters everything down. It's kind
Totally.
of like they're so used to it. They get pampered, the whole pampered Fs thing, and like they're used to certain degrees of thing. And this office of championship management's kind of neutering down these golf courses and making them make the greens with less break. And so I don't. LPGA doesn't have an arm like that. They can't go strong arm a venue and say make your greens less crazy.
Well, and they're not going to come in with their own, turf team and to like get the greens going the week before where they want them to be, right?
Oh,
like
I think like the rules officials do have advanced team. Like these rules officials do go in their advance, and they do have agronomy backgrounds. Then I think there is a tour based agronomist they can contact to help work with the venues to get things sorted out. Because sometimes you go places and
but
it's not as
to
good.
the extreme of the PGA Tour.
Oh God,
and
no,
what
God,
the
no.
yeah. So they're probably doing what they can with their resources to kind of get it where they like it to be. But come week of and everything, like the course and like what goes into it is a bit out of their hands, right? So
I remember we had the old event of Phoenix at Wildfire, which is like a Marriott resort, and like you go out there on Sunday to go walk the golf course, and like there's still resort play out there. Like you're like, it's like you got to wear a hard hat walking the golf course, like, and like and like you get there and you're like Sunday and you're like, man, this is not good. The golf course is not good. And all of a sudden by Monday, Tuesday they kind of start nipping it down and they get it in good shape. So. They're another thing that the women are afforded the luxuries of the PGA Tour side, but Angel does have a point there, I think.
Yeah. I had not heard that, but as she was kind of laying it out, I was like, there's probably something there for sure. So yeah, good context from you though on what you were seeing back in the day as well. So I think that's all I got. Once again, big thanks to Will Balsam for putting this episode together. Big thank you to Angel for taking a break from her house maintenance projects to chat with us.
I'll start calling her the mattress queen.
Oh man, incredible stuff from her. We will be back next week to talk about Kroger and continue on this little kind of end of summer, early fall stretch. So good stuff, Matthew. It was a fun one.
All right. See you next week.
All right. See ya.